The way to learn from Jesus. Jesus taught his disciples, saying, "Do not think that I came to set aside the old law or the teachings of the prophets. I did not come to set them aside, but to complete them." Come to me, all you who labor and are heavily burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am kind and sympathetic, and you will find rest, for my yoke is easy and my burden light. He who hears these words of mine and keeps them in mind will be like a wise man who built his house upon the rock. The rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew and beat upon that house, yet it did not fall, for its foundation was built on the rock. He who hears these words of mine but does not keep them in mind will be like a foolish man who built his house upon sand. The rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was its downfall. At another time, when Jesus was teaching beside the lake, such a large crowd gathered about him that he entered a boat and sat in it, while the crowd stayed on the shore. He then taught them many truths by means of stories, and said, "Listen to me, the sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some of the seed fell on the road where birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky ground, where it had but little soil, and because there was no depth of earth it began to grow at once. But when the sun rose, it was scorched with the heat, and having no root it withered away. Some of the seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it so that it bore nothing. Other seed fell on good soil, and sprouted and grew and bore at the rate of 30, 60, and 100-fold. And he said to them, "Let him who has ears to hear, remember this." When Jesus was alone, those who were with him and the 12 disciples asked him what this story meant. He said to them, "Do you not see the meaning of this? How then will you understand all my other stories?" The sower sows his teaching. The teaching that is sown along the road is like some people who hear, but immediately Satan comes and takes away the teaching which has been sown in them. And the seed that has been sown on rocky places is like those people who hear the teaching and receive it at once with joy, but it takes no root in them and they remember it only for a short time. The seed sown among thorns is like those who hear the teaching, but the pleasures of this life, the desire for wealth and other things makes them forget the teaching. and so it bears no fruit. But the seed sown on good soil is like those people who hear the teaching and remember it, and it bears fruit. Some 30, some 60, and some 100-fold. Can a blind man guide a blind man? Will not both fall into a ditch? A disciple is not above his teacher, but every pupil when perfectly trained will be like his teacher. No good tree bears rotten fruit. Neither does a rotten tree bear good fruit. For each tree is known by its own fruit. Figs are not gathered from thorns, nor grapes picked from a bramble bush. From the good stored in his heart the good man brings forth goodness. But the evil man from his evil store brings forth evil. For the mouth speaks that with which the heart is filled. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. One does not light a candle to put it under a basket, but on a stand, where it shall give light to all who are in the house. So let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your heavenly Father. The way to learn from Jesus. Please join us in prayer. Your partnership helps us to continue to provide great content on YouTube. Thank you for watching, liking, and sharing. If you like our videos, give a thumbs up and share. It also helps to encourage us. Subscribe now to never miss new videos. Thank you for partnering with us.